So Woyomi, you can start. Hello, Woyomi.
Hello, Prof.
Yeah, you can start.
All right, okay. Thank you.
Please, we have 13 people, so let's start while others join.
Okay.
So let's start.
Good morning. My name is Oyoma. On behalf of EAC International, we welcome all of you to this webinar. EAC International basically is an organization registered both in Ghana and Lithuania in the European Union. We believe with research, education, training, and development through entrepreneurship, skill development, practical-based education, training of individuals, communities, small, medium, and a large organization. We will be able to uh, alleviate poverty in Africa as a whole. We have under our education, currently EAC International working very hard to get accreditation from Ghana and USA to run our online programs in BSc programs, master's programs, and doctorate. So soon you will hear from us as well about the education programs that we are trying to come out with. We have our general services, our services in research. We research into poverty alleviation, um, agriculture sector research, we have educational sector research, we have sanitation and waste management research, that's environmental research. We have pre and post project research, we have feasibility study, we have finance and banking, finance or banking sector research as well. Then we also have business or organizational research. We research into economic development. Then we also research into climate change mitigation and a social science research as well. Then EAC International has some webinars that or trainings. Some EAC International has trainings that we go into. We undertake short-term courses, webinars, academic trainings, both online and physical, organizational training, both online and physical, workshop for schools, workshop for organization, panelists for academic webinars, panelists for organizational webinar, panelists for academic conferences, panelists for organizational conferences. You can also invite us to speak or panel your company or ceremony, any seminar that you want to hold, you can invite us and we will be available to take over and give you the best of the best you wanted. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce to you our panelists for today's webinar. Professor Emmanuel Tete, PhD holder. Professor Emmanuel Tete is a finance specialist, economic accountant, researcher, lecturer, and author. He is currently, his work involves analyzing corporate organization, macroeconomics, international financial affairs, and consultant and research. The passion, interest, and motivation in the field of research and consultancy grow after many years trying to find solution to many economic and organizational problems. He is the country director for E-Africa Research Center, EAC International. Professor Emmanuel Tete is the one who is going to take us through this journey of our webinar this morning. And as soon as he is done, he will be the one to respond to your questions as well. Please note, the presentation will take 1 hour and 30 minutes for questions and answers. Also, we want you to note that this webinar is free for everybody, but for you to be able to receive our slice and certificate with our Ghanaian counterpart, you pay 150 Ghana cedis or $10 wherever you find yourself in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, I once again welcome all of you. Prof, please, you can take over from here. Thank you very much.
Okay. Okay, thank you. So we are starting. Once again, I want to welcome all of you. Today we are speaking on the topic corporate governance. Corporate governance, benefits and importance. We are treating a series of corporate governance every month ending. We couldn't do it at the September month ending, and that is why we have shifted it to this October 5th. So we are welcoming all of you. We are welcoming all of you to this particular webinar on the subject corporate governance, benefits and importance. Corporate governance can be any organization. It can be corporate organization like a business into services, a business into production. It can be any organization like church organization. It can be a club, it can be a society, whatever organization is a corporate organization. And we want to look at how these corporate organizations are governed, the benefits and the importance it has to the general public, the benefit and the importance it has to the general public. So we say corporate governance, benefits and importance. Corporate governance is a system of rules, practices, and processes by which a company is directed or controlled. When you are setting up your company, some may choose to have constitutions, some may choose to have rules, and in the art of running the organization, you have processes. All these rules and practices and processes, how you use them to direct the organization and control the organization are what we are looking at. So corporate governance is a system of rules, practices, and processes by which a company is directed and controlled. Now, establishing and implementing these practices involve balancing the interests of many stakeholders. You see, as you run the organization, you have people who have interests in the organization, who are part of your organization, and they are the people we term as stakeholders. People, if you don't get them, your organization cannot run. People, if you don't associate yourself with them, you cannot do anything in your organization, are the parties to the organization. You definitely need them. You definitely, before the organization can survive, they are parties. So they are parties to the organization. So in running and controlling the organization, you need them. In running and controlling the organization, you really need them to be part of whatever you are doing. Corporate governance that is carefully thought out and implemented create transparency, rule, and control. Corporate governance that is carefully thought and implemented create transparency, rules, and control. When the organization has taken the practice of corporate governance serious, it brings transparency and control. Corporate governance, it can serve as a guide to leaders. So as a leader, corporate governance serve as a guide to you. As a leader, corporate governance serve as a guide to you, aligning the interests of the stakeholders, directors, management, the community members, and the employees that serves under you. It serves as a guide to leadership. Align the interests of stakeholders, directors, management, community members, and the employees. When implemented across company levels of management and operation. So first, you need to implement the corporate governance. So when we say corporate governance, corporate is simple rules and regulations that help us to direct the day-to-day affairs of whatever organization we find ourselves. Corporate governance is simply rules, practices, processes that we use day-to-day in governing whatever organization we find ourselves. So good corporate governance, when it's implemented well, it brings growth. It brings growth. So for the diagram, you see initially when they started practicing governance, and you see how it has risen straight, pointing to the sky, meaning when corporate governance initially practiced and implemented well, it definitely brings growth to the organization. It brings growth to the organization. So now let's look at the benefits. Corporate governance, benefit that it brings to the organization. It mitigates risks. Corporate governance mitigates risks. What is risks? Risks are uncertainties. Risks are uncertainty that we come across in our day-to-day running of organization. Whatever organization that we come across, there are risks that you encounter. There are the risks that you encounter in the running of the organization. Risks, they are uncertainties that comes across our way in day-to-day running of organization. So risk mitigation is identify and reduce risks. At any point, we need to identify the risks we are confronted with and reduce the risks. Corporate organizations, corporate governance. So when you have a good corporate governance help to mitigate risks by implement policy and procedure that ensure that key people within the organization identify and evaluate risks as soon as they arise. So corporate governance, when we implement it, our rules and policies, bylaws, regulations that we have, they help us to govern the organizations well. Regulations, bylaws that we have, that assist us in the organization, they are things that help us to run the organization well, to control and direct the organization well, help us to practice good corporate governance, So when these things are adhered to well, they help us to identify risks that we are likely to encounter in the day-to-day running of the business, or risks that we are likely to encounter ahead in the day-to-day running of the organization. Every organization has its own risks that is likely to encounter. whatever sector you find yourself, there are risks that we are likely to encounter. There are many types of risks that is possible to mitigate. Most of these risks are possible through corporate governance. If you have good corporate governance, let's talk about financial performance risks. When you have financial performance risks, you can mitigate them through practicing of good corporate governance. We have operational efficiency risks. Your day-to-day operation of the organization, efficiency risks. We are risks that you are likely to encounter. And these risks, when good corporate governance is practiced, you can overcome. Financial health risks. Financial health risks. These are some of the few risks I'm mentioning that you are likely to encounter in day-to-day running of the organization. And they are you can mitigate against them when you are able to identify them earlier. Let's look at these four types of risks that are easily mitigated. We said acceptable risks. These are risks that the organization has come to tolerance with it, and you feel you can manage them in the day-to-day running of the organization. Acceptable risks. They are risks that the organization has come tolerant with, and so the organization believes that whether he has mitigated them or not, he can manage them in the running of the day-to-day of the organization. Then we have avoidable risks. Avoidable risks are risks that the organization thinks he can uproot. He can uproot the source of the risks entirely. It's a form of mitigation. And so the organization makes so many attempts to uproot the root. That is what we call avoidable risks. Then we have transferable risks. We have risks that you can transfer them to the third party by taking something like insurance. When you are confronted with risks and through insurance, you can transfer the impact of the risk that will come to the organization. Then we have reducible risks that you can reduce them. Yeah, that one, you can reduce the risk to a bearable minimum while you run the day-to-day affairs of the organization. So one, benefit, how to mitigate against efficiency risks. Now, prioritize resources. When you want to mitigate against efficiency risks, we said prioritize resources. Direct resources to the most significant threat area, where you have a threat area, a serious risk area. You direct resources to those areas. Improve response time. You have to, in the organization, you need to improve the time you respond to issues. You have to improve response times, respond to issues quickly, then react swiftly to emergency threat. Where you know there are some emergency threats to your day-to-day running of the organization, which are the risk element, react to them swiftly, emergency threats. React to them swiftly. They enhance stakeholders' trust. Enhance stakeholders' trust. All those you come into contact with, ensure that they still trust in the day-to-day activities of the organization. Ensure that is enhanced stakeholders' trust. Then, lastly, boost confidence among invested customers and employees. All those that you did, they are all stakeholders you deal with, you transact with, enhance, boost confidence with them in dealing with you. Then let's look at how I mentioned some three levels of how to mitigate against risks through financial help. Hello? Hello? I pray that you put off your audio for me. Hello? So risks management aid to reduce adverse impact of such risks on the organization financial health. When we talk about financial health, the financial strength of the organization, whatever organization, the financial health is the financial strength of the organization. And we are saying financial risk management aid to reduce adverse impact of risks against adverse impact of such risks on the organization financial health by implementing effective mitigation strategies. When we say mitigations, things that reduce the impact of any risks you are likely to encounter in the day-to-day running of the organization. This strategy may involve These strategies may involve, sorry, somebody is entering, so. This strategy may involve using financial instruments such as derivative, insurance policy, or diversification of investment. If you want to reduce risks, you need to diversify your risk as organizations. Upon a time, take investment portfolio. What we are saying that your investment should not go into one. Don't invest in one policy or one portfolio. Diversify your investment. You should invest in various items. It shouldn't be one area. So you don't put your eggs in one basket. So you need to diversification of investment. Diversification of investment. You need to diversify.
Oh, then give me this one more. Instead of something was in my mind again, but it's like I've forgotten it.
So you see the risk management, we have hedging. Hedging is another means of reducing risks. We have diversification and insurance. You can take some insurance policy that can help you to at least mitigate against certain risks. So risk management can be found in this diagram. Then we come to what we do. Another benefits.
What did you eat?
Corporate governance. Brother Isaac, if you can't put your audio off for us.
I don't have audio. Okay.
Yeah, the audio distance, so that in this speech coming from will not be distracting others. Please be humble.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, so benefits. Another benefit is improving capital flow. Let me say simply cash flow. Cash flows are money that day-to-day comes into the organization. When you practice corporate governance, it improves your cash flow. Strong corporate governance is Strong corporate governance also impacts capital flow or cash flow. Let me say that. This is because increasing confidence in the company from investors, bankers, and other lenders makes it easy to access money. What we want to say here is another benefit from corporate governance is corporate governance improve cash flow, money that comes to the business. Or when you are an organization that practices corporate governance, other stakeholders have interest in your organization. People trust your organization. You see, when you are an organization that ensures that rules and regulations and policies are working well in the organization, everybody respects your organization. they take your organization to be an ethical organization. Organizations that practice good corporate governance are known as ethical organization. They are known as ethical. And so they have so many access to finance. When they go to bank, it's easy for them to have access. If they need money to improve their cash flow, if they need extra funds, investors are willing, because investors want to associate themselves with an ethical organization. Investors want to associate themselves with an ethical organization. Ethical organization that is an ethical organization are also transparent. They are very transparent. And so stakeholders or everybody who has interest in the organization want to associate himself with an organization that is very transparent. And when it comes to finance, bankers are willing to grant them cash flow. Even sometimes they have portfolio investment. People are rushing on them. People want to deal with them. That is, they even attract foreign investment. They attract foreign investment. So we said organization that practice good corporate governance has easy access to cash flow or improve capital investment. Has easy access to cash flow. Then another benefit of corporate governance, if you are an organization that practice a good corporate governance, what we term as it encourage positive behavior. Corporate governance itself encourage good positive behavior. A clear defined policy and corporate governance support positive behavior both in the boardroom and office. In the boardroom, board members practice good corporate governance. In the office, there is good corporate governance. It ensures that all board members and executive level staff participate in developing a positive company culture that clearly outlines who handles each department, project, and task. You see, so when organization practice good corporate governance, such organization is also known as an organization that encourage positive behavior. And so you will see a clear company culture. When I say company culture, the way the organization goes about its things, whatever organization, when they practice good positive behavior, they have a way they go about issues. And such organization is recognized from outside. It's recognized from outside. And so every organization want to deal with them. Every organization want to associate with them because they are an organization that encourage a positive behavior. When you go to the organization, you see how staff members live and talk with whatever those that they come into acquaintance with, sorry. You see, when you go to such an organization, anybody who came or come into acquaintance with them, you see the way they talk, the way they welcome you, the way they deal with you, will tell you that this organization practice a positive behavior. Sometimes you visit some organizations and even at the front desk, you see the way he talks to you. From the way he will approach you, will tell you whether this organization is a positive behave organization or unpositive behave organization. And when the organization is a positive behave, when you deal with them, tomorrow you would like to go there because they behave positively towards you. These are organizations that we are encouraging. Organizations that have a clear policy and practice a good corporate governance. We said they support positive behavior, both at the board level and at the office. So wherever you find yourself, you feel attracted to be with them. you feel attractive to be with them. Now, we are saying that another benefit, corporate governance boasts corporate reputation. Corporate governance boasts corporate reputation. Corporate governance also affects the reputation of the corporation. Improve an organization, corporate governance also improve transparency in the company's internal policies and demonstrate that the company has sufficient control mechanism to manage quality, risks, performance sources, and even in difficult conditions. You see, corporate governance, we said one of the benefits, it boasts reputation. When the organization practices good corporate governance, when you visit them, one, boost trust and credibility. After transacting with them, you will realize that this company is, yes, indeed, a very good company because they would trust. They will put the trust in you, and you will see how credible they go about their things. One, corporate governance boasts reputation in the sense that it strengthens resilience. It will strengthen the resilience of the organization. Now, because it boasts good reputation, it grows the business and profitability. It grows the business and profitability. It grows the business and profitability. Now, provide when the company is an organization that is having a good reputation, one, it provides customers with enough insight of whatever they do. It provides the customers with enough insight. It improves both physical and online perception of the organization. An organization that is having a reputation. Then it establishes competitive edge. When the organization is having reputation, it establishes competitive edge over its competitors. He's having what? Competitive edge. Because he's a reputable company, he's having something that he can do more than others. That is what we term as competitive edge. He's having competitive edge over others. We said a reputable company prepares for crisis. When you are a reputable company, you always prepare for crisis. A reputable company doesn't wait for crisis to come to see them struggling, but they also prepare for crisis. Such are reputable companies. Now, another benefit that we accrued from corporate governance is improve decision making. Corporate governance improves decision making. A good corporate governance improves the decision process by defining a clear responsibilities and roles. Organization with a clear corporate governance empower executives and managers to make smart decisions and ensures that decision making is efficient and responsive. Decision making is efficient. So you have the demographic from the diagram, you have the demographic structure, you have the infrastructure, you have the environment, you have the economic, you have the legal requirement, what it takes. So when these things are blended well, it improves decision making of the organization. So we say corporate governance improves decision making of the organization. Corporate governance improves decision making of the organization. If you are an organization that operates a good corporate governance, decision-making process becomes because you have a clear defined responsibilities and rules. We have a clear, and the organization with a clear corporate governance empower executives and managers to make smart decisions and ensure that decision-making is efficient and responsive. Okay, so now let's look at the importance of good corporate governance. We have looked at the benefits. Now let's look at the important. Some companies may view corporate governance as unnecessary and costly process. You see, the way corporate governance is, if you don't look at it well, you may view it as unnecessary, but it is very important area of every corporation. For the corporation to survive, for the corporation to grow, it depends on good corporate governance. In Ghana, the cleanup of the banking sector was due to good corporate governance. The banks were not adhered to a lot of policy procedures, a lot of regulations, even though some aspects may be politics, but most of the banks are, which we can classify as corporate governance problem. They were faced with corporate governance. So if you are an organization that you are not practicing good corporate governance, it's a big problem to your organization. It impaired the survival of the organization. It impairs serious survival of the organization. However, a proper corporate governance system has many advantages. When your organization operates a corporate governance, it has many advantages. Why corporate governance can benefit companies, its importance relies on how the company uses it. Its importance relies on how the company apply the corporate governance. Now, as mentioned, corporate governance defines a rules, principles, regulations that companies use for controlling and direction. Corporate governance, once again, as I mentioned earlier on, corporate governance defines rules, principles, regulations that companies can use for controlling and directing the organizations. For controlling and directing the organization. Now, let's look at the importance that corporate governance gives to organization. We said it minimizes agency problem. We have what we term as agency problem in organization. We said stakeholders who invest in the company are the principals, and those they employ to manage the organization are the agents. So we said there is always agency problem in organization. But where the organization practice a good corporate governance, we said it minimizes this agency problem. What is the agency problem we are talking about here? The agency problem is those invest in the company who are shareholders want the company to work at their interest. They want management to maximize the interest of they who have invited and who have invested into the company. That is what we term as agency problem. So one importance of corporate governance is it minimizes agency problem in a sense that management knows those who put their money into the organization, and therefore they are not interested only in maximizing profitability. We said that management are interested in only the profit of the organization because it is the profit they get their salary, they get their allowances and other things, and they are not interested in maximizing the interest of shareholders. What the interests of shareholders are that shareholders also want the company to have a good name, to be a reputable company, so that the share prices of the shares of the company will be rising. So they are interested in the company shares moving up as well as the profitability and the survival of the organization. But we said when there is a good corporate governance in place, that conflict between the investors and management and minimize. This is one of the importance of good corporate governance. Good corporate governance minimize the agency problem. Good corporate governance minimize the agency problem. Now, another importance of good corporate governance is that we said it attracts investors. Companies that practice good corporate governance always attract investors. People want to associate themselves, as I already said. Organizations want to put their money into it. Corporate governance provides companies with a system for best practice. Through this, it ensures a company's operations are efficient. The corporate governance ensures that the company operations are efficient. As mentioned, it also protects stakeholders and shareholders and other stakeholders' rights. Their rights, maximizing the interest of stakeholders and shareholders. No, that is their right. When investors look for companies to invest in, they always prefer companies with good corporate governance. You see, investors want a safe place of their money. So always they want to ensure that they invest with organizations that practice a good corporate governance. In all, we are saying that good corporate governance, practicing of good corporate governance, brings about the growth of the organization, brings about the survival of the organizations, and it protects the organization as well. So another importance that we want to look at is promotion of accountability. These days, accountability becomes a very difficult issue that is hampering progress of a lot of organizations. People want to manage, but they don't want to be responsible. They don't want to be accountable to their stewardship. But corporate governance is saying that it is possible we promote accountability. So accountability is very, very, very important. A good corporate governance system ensures that companies follow a sound, transparent, and credible financial reporting system. It's about a financial reporting system. These days, and financial reporting system is what, if people want to invest in the company, it is their financial system the financial report that they assess and perform certain things before they invest in the company. All investors assess the financial report. So credibility of financial report is very, very, very important. Organizations need to give a clear report of their financial state of affairs. Department agency of the government need to report the financial state, a credible financial state. Are we receiving these credible financial reports that is hampering so many progresses in even the economy? And where you are a company that doesn't promote accountability, a lot of issues in the organization are crippled because you are not giving a fair financial dealings of the state of affairs of your organization. So it's very, very important we promote accountability, good accountability. This way, corporate governance can help to promote accountability in companies. By what? Accountability means transparency, responsibility, and responsiveness. Open book for management, openness, credibility, clearness, and access to information to undertake whatever decision. There must be openness. Financial reports that we print out or we bring out might be devoid of any manipulation, what we term as window dressing. There should not be window dressing in a financial report to look like what we don't have. To dress it to bring a good picture. Financial reports that we bring out must be a credible financial report to help stakeholders take a good decision about our state of affairs. About our state affairs. Then let's look at it. Another importance of corporate governance is to ensure compliances. Companies are complex business structures. Therefore, they must comply with various rules and regulations. Corporate governance also applies to these areas as it ensures companies meet this obligation. Compliance with rules and regulations is also a part of the company risk management process. By complying with rules and regulations, companies can avoid any unnecessary issues. So rules and regulations, we have policy, we have regulations, we have requirement, we have regulations, we have standard, we have laws. Every organization, every structure, every corporation, you have to ensure to comply with rules and regulations. If we are a company that complies with rules and regulations, you are known as ethical company. And everybody wants to associate himself with an ethical organization. Companies that apply rules and regulations. That is a sign of a good corporate governance. A sign of a good corporate governance. So we have to ensure as organizations to apply rules and regulations. We have to be compliant with rules and regulations, policies, standards, laws, bylaws, requirements. We have to ensure that we comply with rules, regulations. Now, another importance of good corporate governance is it improves efficiency. Corporate governance improves efficiency. Corporate governance also helps companies maximize operation and organizational efficiency. Many companies have ineffective governance, which also translates into low or below average performance. Many companies comprise with ineffective governance and also translate low average. When you are operating, you apply inefficient governance, you operate below average. Corporate governance lays the foundation for how a company handles its operation, use its resources, apply innovations, and implement corporate strategies. Through this, it also improves company efficiency. So when you apply regulations, it improves your efficiencies of operation. No doubt. When you are an organization that applies regulations, rules and bylaws and policies, compliance with policies, or practice a good corporate governance, it improves efficiency of your operation. Efficiency of your operation is improved. So, as managers, as stakeholders, we need to comply with regulations. Then another importance is good corporate governance ensure corporate social responsibility. The environment we find ourselves, the environment we operate, the community that we operate, we need to have an impact over them as an organization. Organization shouldn't exist in a particular environment and just exist. The environment need to feel, they need to feel your presence. They need to feel your presence while you exist there. So you need to help them. You need to impact the community. You need to impact the environment and the people within where you operate. That is what we term as corporate social responsibility. One area that corporate governance introduced is corporate social responsibility. It's usually applies to how companies interact with environment in which they operate. Corporate social responsibilities enables companies to consider the impact their operation have on the environment. Simply, it promotes sustainability and responsibility. So the area we operate, the area that we find ourselves, we need corporate governance is saying that we need to impact the area. Bring the people along with you. Impact the people and let them know you exist in the area. And lastly, corporate governance is a set of rules, regulations, or principles that define how company should control and direct it. It is a crucial part of company's management. Corporate governance is important for several reasons. These are many. There are many, include minimizing the agency problem, protecting the company's stakeholders, attracting investors, and many others. Thank you very much, and I will take your questions. Thank you very much. That is the end of my presentation, and I would like to take your questions. Thank you very much. Hello, Moses. So we want to, yes, you can ask the question. I've seen somebody's hands up. Yes, you can ask your question.
Thank you very much. First of all, I want to commend you, the Prof, for your brilliant presentation. Can you hear me?
Hello, Prof. I can hear you. I can hear you very well.
Okay. I'm saying that, first of all, I want to commend you for the insight.
Thank you.
You have on this corporate governance.
Yeah, thank you.
Its importance and benefit.
Yeah.
And you know, in the course of the presentation, there was some disruption.
Oh, sorry.
And you know, some people were talking and we couldn't. So that slide before the ethical organization, that was when it happened. So can we still go back so that you can explain?
Okay.
That is before you were talking about an organization being ethical.
Okay.
That's the slide. That is when you were talking about mitigating the risk.
Mitigating the risk.
Yes, you told us of the 4 types of the risk mitigation, acceptable.
Thank you. So I'm there. Okay. Want to hear about
this slide? No, what I mean is that this one was very clear, but the one that followed it.
Okay, that is
the one that followed it.
How
was
to
the issue.
mitigate against operation efficiency.
Against operation.
I think that was where the thing was.
Okay. So let me.
Wait, it went off.
Benefit on how to mitigate operation efficiency. These are how you can mitigate. You know, we have some risks about operation efficiency. If you want to operate efficiently, you are likely to come against a certain risks. And I said risks are uncertainty. And if you want to mitigate against operation efficiency rate, 1, you need to prioritize your resources. Your resources that you have available in the organization that help you to operate day to day in the organization, prioritize them. The reason being that, you know, day in and out, organizations have limited resources, but the needs to fulfill are many. So you need to prioritize it. Then 2, direct resources to most significant threat area. Resources that you have, direct them to most significant threat area. What I mean by most significant threat area is that area that you are likely to encounter risks. Direct resources to that area. You know, you have broad area in the organization. There are certain areas that are risk areas. Some are less risk area, where you realize you are likely to encounter a lot of risks. Direct significant resources to that area. Then 2, improve response times. What I mean by improve response time is that if you delayed in responding to issues, ensure, in order to mitigate risk, ensure you respond fast to risks, a lot of risk areas, respond fast to issues, respond fast to issues. Then react swiftly to emergency threats, where you realize that you are likely to encounter threat, respond swiftly to those emergency threats. You need to respond swiftly, mean respond quickly to those emergency threats areas. Then, lastly, boost confidence among investors, your customers, and employees. You need to boost confidence. This is how we mitigate against efficiency risks. This is how we mitigate against efficiency risks. I don't know if I'm clear here.
Yeah, you were on point. Thank you very much. But I just want to add a kind of follow up.
Okay, I'm ready, sir.
When we look at it, especially those organizations or companies whose services, who render services that they are more or less a monopoly. Take, for instance, the utility companies.
Yes.
And they are not having a competition. Yes. So most of them don't pay attention to corporate governance, good corporate governance.
Yes.
Most of them.
Yes.
Because they know they are not in competition with
anybody. Which is a very bad thing.
Yeah, especially those that are in those that are subvented organizations.
Yes, subvented organizations.
Because they will sit down, they will sleep, and then when they wake up, they go to government for subvention.
Very, very serious.
They don't need to think. They don't have any serious risk. So in those situations, it's not helping with the consumers.
Yes, very true.
So in what way would they also, because if all of them pay attention to this corporate governance that you have clearly outlined, with the company, with the consumers who enjoy.
You see, there is one time I was saying that our problem, especially when it comes to Ghana, is more about the institutions. You see, some of the institutions are not functioning how they are supposed to function. You see, like some of these utilities that the areas, utility organization, I believe some organizations in countries have to be autonomous now. You understand me? Government should eliminate subventive, and they should allow to work to pay themselves. When it happens so, you see every sector working very hard and operating at a very more efficient rate for people to enjoy their services. So I believe government have to begin autonomizing a certain part of the organization, even if a ministry, and we think they can work on their own. They need to. They can work on their own. We assess and we believe they can work on their own to pay themselves. We have to allow them to be autonomous so that they sit up and work on their own to pay themselves.
Yeah, Professor, sorry, I still have to come in because of this issue of autonomy.
Yes.
This issue of autonomy, mostly they are not able to become autonomous because they feel if they are autonomous, they will pay the services they render, they will pay, customers will have to pay economic fees, economic charges. You see, and the government want to more or less protect the citizens, the customers.
Yeah.
So that's why they now tell, okay, let's give you subvention, we'll pay your staff, but so that at least that overhead is taken out. So if we are now proposing autonomy,
I believe
can we, the customers, can we bear it?
Yes, I believed. You see, initially, I'm using a chip when the coming of the telecos, the DEM bus, you remember, the DEM bus. I'm a chip that I'm having. I bought it 399 those days. But because a lot of telecos, we have allowed a lot of organization entering into the system. There is competition. And now, how much do you buy cheap? It's less than 2 cedis. So I can even say it's free of charge now because a lot of people enter into the industry and there's competition. So if you don't do well, you'll be outweighted. You understand? So now cheap is even less than 3 cedis. It's about 2 cedis. I would say it's free. But my cheap, during the coming of BAS, I bought it 399 because by then it was BAS alone and one other organization. So you have to compete on chips. So when they are autonomous, and at least we allow other organizations to come and compete their autonomy or the autonomy, things will be very cheap. I believe things will be cheap because there will be competition. And as there is competition, everybody will try to do his best for his goods or services to be patronized. Hello?
Yeah, hi. Thank you very much, Prof, for the insight.
Thank you.
Let me give opportunity to others to ask questions.
Okay, yes, so
yes, and then I'll come back again.
I'm waiting for your questions.
No, I say I'll give opportunity to others.
Yes, you'll give opportunity. I'm waiting for others.
To others. After that, I'll come back.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'm grateful.
Thank you.
Please, if you have any question, you can raise your hand. Then we will call you to ask your question. Thank you. You can also leave your questions in the comment section. We'll answer.
Yo, somebody is up again. Hello, you can come. Come with your question again.
Okay,
you know, I waited for people to ask, but they are
not asking. So come.
I want to take this opportunity.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Yes, I'm working in a religious environment.
Okay.
A church setting.
Okay.
And I'm talking about transferable risk.
Okay.
You know, the challenge we have here is that because we believe in the omnipotence, in the all-knowing God, the all-powerful God, and that from day to day we rely on Him for our protection and everything.
Yes.
So apart from those type of insurance that are, we may say, by law, apart from those ones that are vehicles, we have to
do insurance
because it's by law.
Yeah.
Yes, it's by law that you have to get your insurance for your vehicles, and then maybe protect the building. Apart from those ones, but the general transfer of risk, we don't look in that direction.
Yeah.
Are we getting it right?
Yes.
Or what advice do you have for especially those of us who are working in that environment?
Yeah. Okay.
With regard to transfer of risk.
Transfer of risk. Yeah. You see, I also believe in the protection of the omnipotent. That one, nobody can ignore it. The protection of the omnipotent God. Nobody can ignore it. But you know, God is there to protect us, and He has given us the church public tool to assist the church. You understand me? So when they bring the money, we have to at least manage the money in a way that it will not be always, we shall not be going to them always for the money. The later that they'll bring to us, we need to make prudent management of the funds so that in certain things, we don't run back to them for money. So I believe in diversification of investment. As we receive the money, we use it for whatever impending issues that we need to undertake. The reserve that comes, we need to manage it for the church public. And that is where we need to diversify investment. Now, in investing church funds too, you ensure that you don't take the money to private places, that the risk concerning the investment is so high because you are investing church funds. When you want to invest, take it to houses, reputable houses, and recognized houses. We have Ghana Commercial Bank, we have Barclays Bank, that is ABSA, we have Eco Bank. In all of these organizations, you can diversify the funds of the church. Don't take church fund to private organization where the risk is high. Make sure you invest the excess fund in reputable banks of the organization so that you can get excess money to assist the church public. Thank you. I don't know if I've answered that.
Yes, that's brilliant. But what I'm also thinking, recently we in the private sector, in the public sector too, we hear of haircuts, the haircuts.
Yes.
And these haircuts is actually, it's not a palatable thing for the
it's
clients.
not palatable to hear.
So yeah, now that you are saying we should go to private, and then the public too.
I said you should not go to private.
Yes, but what I'm saying in the public too, we have this haircut.
Oh, the haircut, on assessment.
Yes.
Churches were not involved in the fixed bonds issue. The fixed bonds.
Okay.
When you look at it, I don't see any church involved in that. But we have the T-bill, which is risk-free, which that one doesn't. And for so many years, Ghana has not gone undergoing through those haircut like this. It is only this year that Ghana has been confronted. So at least it is, let me say, it is one of issue. I'm believing we are not going to encounter it again. And beside that, we have the T-bill that is also very good. You can invest in it. The T-bill. The T-bill has not undergone any haircut. It was the fixed bonds, the bond securities that went through that haircut. And on assessment too, I have not seen any church public putting his money into fixed bonds. You understand me? When you look at it, no church has involved in that fixed bonds. So we have the T-bills that we have the fixed deposits that you can put your money in, which are very, very, fixed deposits are for the banks. Then T-bills they are also for the government, but the risk element there is a bit lesser. It's a bit lesser. Hello?
Yes. So yes, I am. The response is on point.
Yes.
I'm really grateful.
So I believe this haircut is one of issue. It is one of issue. Ghana has undergone into a serious difficult just this year, and I don't think we shall encounter again. But T-bills are devoid of those problems, and now we have bank fees deposits to which are also devoid of those things. So we can go invest in those areas. But please don't invest church funds in private security, so that the church will undergo problem like now is it NAM1 or something?
Maybe Piram.
Iram.
Iram,
Make sure you protect
and then
the church money.
yeah.
Safely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Thank you very much. I hope your statement you have made that Ghana will not go through this haircut again will be prophetic.
Yes, we are hoping.
Thank you.
Irrespective
Thank you
of any government, for me, I'm not a politician, but we are hoping that we don't go into that problem again.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm grateful.
Thank you very much. Yes. Any question again? Any question again?
Hello, sir.
Hello, sir.
Yes. I have a very simple. Is it even a question?
So please.
I think I have
question,
some
contribution
yes,
question. Go ahead.
I have even short internet challenges, so some of the presentations I've missed them. So I would like to first and foremost congratulate you for the fantastic presentation.
Thank you very much.
And I would like to know more about your organization. Okay. I see it's like EARC International, of which you are the country director.
Yes.
And if you can maybe spend maybe 1 or 2 minutes to share with me the scope of your operations.
Yeah.
So that I can see where we can also maybe form synergies, partnership, and collaboration. I work for Council for Scientific and Industrial Research.
So I need you. African Research.
And it is the Scientific Council for Scientific and Industrial Research.
Okay. I've seen it. Dr. S.
Yes. S. Bequin, sure.
Bequin.
Because we have other CSR in South Africa, in Australia, in India, and other places. That's why I put CSR Ghana. So if you can share with me, giving me an overview of your scope of operations.
Mr. Seko, yes. Africa Research is my own organization formed in Ghana, registered in Ghana.
Okay.
And I was lecturing a school in Europe when I met this young girl. So he suggested this young white lady who suggested we making the organization international.
Okay.
So he led me and registered the company in Lithuania.
Okay.
So that we can have the Lithuania branch. We can have Lithuania. Our main aim of registering the organization so we can have access to European grants to do more.
Okay.
So we've registered in Lithuania. She is in Lithuania office and I'm in Ghana office here.
Okay.
So we
all right. Thank you. Very fantastic.
Hello, Doc. Hello, Doc.
Culture research. Yes, I think. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Doc.
Yes. Can you hear me, sir?
I can hear you, sir. I can hear you, sir.
Yes. Before you, there was one gentleman who gave an overview of the organization, and he made mention.
The MC.
He made mention of agriculture. You do research.
We are into agriculture
and also environment.
Yes. We have a fantastic team here.
Okay.
So, Doc.
So
we can meet.
Of agriculture are you into?
Agriculture, we are into soil fertility.
Okay.
And agric education.
Okay. Okay. And what about the environment? I also heard of climate change.
Yeah, we are into climate change mitigations. I even
mitigation.
I don't know if you know if you know this organization. We are in partnership with them on climate change.
Which organization?
Rufa Ghana.
Oh, okay. On mitigation, right?
On mitigation says we are in partnership.
What about adaptation?
We do adaptation everything, please.
Okay. So I'm asking all these questions because, CSIR is the biggest and the premier scientific research institution.
I know very well. I know.
And looking at your background, and I'm in charge of grants and a coordinator for grants and projects.
Hey, Doc.
And also,
Doc, book a meeting.
And
Doc, book a meeting so that we meet.
Yes.
Book a meeting.
So
Doc,
Horizon, Europe, Horizon, and most of the EU platforms.
Doc.
Hello.
Book a meeting so that we meet and discuss at length.
Okay, that would be very fantastic.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So let me pause for now.
So that we meet and discuss at length.
Okay.
I don't know if you can have my email or.
I don't. Maybe I don't have it. So if you can share with me, that would be very fantastic.
Let me put it just now on the slides.
Okay, that would be great.
Yeah, so that we meet and discuss at length. Look, these are the
emails. How best you can.
Please
continue the conversation.
Can you see it, Doc?
Yes.
Yeah, so you use Teite Africa Research Center.com.
Sure. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'll be expecting you. And you have my phone. You can write my phone number as well.
I think I'll pick it.
Yeah, okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yes, any other questions? So that we call it a day. So people don't come early. What is the name? Woyome. So we want to thank you very much for coming. Is that Toti?
Yes, sir.
Do you have a question?
I have a question.
And so ask, we are there.
Okay. I wanted to find out, because of corruption,
yeah,
the good corporate governance, how do we manage corruption?
So ask.
Yes. So that's my question.
Yeah. So ask.
So let me get sharp, because my system was going up and up.
Yes, I can see today this thing is not good at all. The networks are not good.
Yes, the system is going up and up.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, at least I had almost 80% of our discussion.
Okay.
Or 90 even.
Okay.
But where I was personally looking at
yeah.
One,
yes. Yeah.
As a result of some of the stakeholders.
Okay.
Employee, and also the board and the shareholders too.
Okay, so ask quickly and let's go. Ask quickly and let's go. So we thank you. We thank you very much. We thank you very much for coming. Next month, by this time, by end of October, we have another seminar. You will all be invited. Please, can we get a recording? Yes, so please, if you need a recording and this thing, we'll distribute it. Please, pay 50 Ghana cedis. We give you certificate, recording, and the slides. We'll give you copy of it. We beg you to assist us.
Is it how much? Is it how much?
150. Just 150. We'll give you certificate. We give you the slides. We send it to you like we send the links to you. We'll send them to you. Give us pay 150 to that. We have a number there. Let me show you. Then you pay 150. We'll send them to you, please. And when we are sending, please reference your name. Your name. If you are sending to WhatsApp, reference your name. Then we'll print the certificates. We are now going to print the certificates and everything for you. So it's costly. So we beg you, just pay 150. We send the certificate, the slides, and the recording to you. We send everything to you. I'm coming.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Maybe just quick suggestion.
Yes.
Now, there is a concept we call ESG, Environmental Social Governance.
Okay.
That one too is very crucial.
Okay.
Now, it's part of the Sustainable Development Goals.
Goals. Okay.
One of the goals expects that every organization, as more particularly the private entities.
Yeah. I'm listening, sir. Hello, sir. We are listening to you.
They have to factor environment. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, please. I'm listening.
Hello.
Hello,
so
sir.
I'm saying that you need to explore that component very well. Because now that is the way to go. That is the way to go. Good. Every organization is encouraged to factor that environment, sustainable, social governance into their framework.
Okay,
and sir. That one is the area, the vicinity, the community you are operating. You have to make sure that you don't just take it from them. You have to also factor certain things so that it can be win-win. So try to explore that one further. That can be a whole presentation for a day. Then you try to see our best.
Thank you, my big bro.
So maybe yes, maybe one day try your best to come to my office, airport residential area, behind Chinese embassy.
Please,
then we can sit down.
Please. Is it Dr. S. Bequin?
Yes, this is Dr. Bequin.
Oh, Dr. Bequin. Okay, I will be there. Dr. Bequin, I will be there.
Come. Because I think there are environment, climate, and agriculture. We are giant in that space.
Even if you don't take care, next week, Doc, I'll come to you.
But next week, I think it's likely I will be in the north.
You'll be in so when you return?
When I return. It's not confirmed, but it's highly confirmed.
It's highly.
So
Doc,
maybe.
Can I pick your number? Doc, quickly
yes,
pick your number.
054.
054, yes.
510.
510, yes.
5623.
5623.
Let's start the conversation from there.
Okay. I'll even call
All right.
I'll even call you this weekend when you are free. Maybe after church.
All right.
After church tomorrow.
And all right. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Very grateful.
It's a pleasure. Bye-bye.
Goodbye. So please, those who want the certificate, you can use this number. 054 805 4485. Hello? Those who want the certificate, 054 870 4485. Those who want the certificate can pick this number. Send your money, reference your name, the name that you want to be on the certificate, reference it. We send the recording and everything to you.
The number again, please.
054 870 4485. Emmanuel Taiti. You send it, reference, we'll send everything for you. Or all those invited by Mr. Dusey. Hello? All those invited by Mr. Dusey, let Mr. Dusey coordinate it, and I will send everything direct to Mr. Dusey. Hello?
Hi.
All those invited by Mr. Dusey, you can pay everything to Mr. Dusey. She will coordinate, and I will let you have your certificates, your slides, and your recordings.
Okay.
all those from Mr. Duse, you pay everything to Mr. Duse. She will call me and I will coordinate and let you have everything through Mr. Duse.
Okay, I think that is better.
That will be simple, yes. So see Mr. Duse, give everything to Mr. Duse. I'll let you have the slides, the certificates, and the recordings. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Very well, very well, sir.
We are closing for the day. Thank you. Thank you very much. And next month, I will invite all of you again.
That will be fine.
Now that I have your email, every month I have something doing, so I will invite all of you. And Mr. Duse is also there. So by coordinating with him, I know I can get all of you. So thank you very much for coming.
We are grateful.
Thank you. I'm also very grateful
for the opportunity. Okay.
Yes, I'm also very grateful. Okay.